Now, my experience with over-aroused dogs, I have coached and trained sport dogs. And guess what? A lot of the sport dogs, sports like flyball that I competed at the highest sport, setting world records multiple times over a series of 10 years. Agility, where I won world championships at the elite of the sport. I know about over-aroused dogs. I know how they present, and I know the mistakes people make because guess what, guys? I've made them myself. Okay, so we've got this dog who is like acting out emotionally. Here's the worst thing that people do. Number one is they get tense themselves and they try to hover over the dog. They try to control the dog, right? Like the person saying, you gotta calm down. Maybe they put their hands on you when you're getting excited. You gotta calm down. Don't you tell me how I have to be. Okay, so hovering over the dog, they get all their muscles tight. They may actually then try to yell at the dog or scold them and tell them, no, you got to stop that. Or worse yet, they might like correct the dog, give them a collar correction, scold the dog. All of that is like putting gasoline on a fire. And you'll know why when I share with you some of the reasons why dogs are over-aroused or overexcited. Because in many, I would say the vast majority of times, it's not the dog's fault. Okay, so let's go to why. Why are some dogs just prone to go off? They just go off at the silliest things, and other dogs are like, what's wrong with you, Jack? Okay, number one would be genetics, because let's face it, there are some breeds that are higher drive dogs. I happen to like the higher drive dogs, the Jack Russell Terriers and the Border Collies. There are dogs that just love to go all day. And if you've picked one of those breeds as your family pet and you don't like to go all day, then you may be overwhelmed thinking, okay, this is crazy talk. This isn't what I signed up for. So you really have to research the breed that you're getting. Not saying all dogs within a breed are the same. There's definitely individual characteristics within a breed. For example, this book, The Frustration Theory, it's by Abram Amsel, and it discusses how each one of us, including dogs, is born with a certain response to frustration. One of four responses. Either we get invigorated. Think of like putting, $1 in the pop machine and you hit your favorite cola and it comes out empty. So you might be one of the people whose your immediate response is invigoration or rage. I'm going to shake you. I want to get my pop back. All right. The second response is suppression. So you may be one of those people like, I guess there's nothing in there, and you walk away. You may be one of those people that have the response of persistence. Well, I put $1 in and I didn't get my cola, but I see there's another drink that I might like to try, and you might put another $1 in to try a different type. Maybe there's a different one that's available. Or maybe you'll go and find somebody to help you out. Or you may be the fourth type, which is regression. And with somebody who's innately, the response to frustration is regression, you would go back to what worked the first time. So you might put another $1 in and hit the same thing. With our dogs, if they tried something and we are trying to raise the criteria for them and they don't get reinforced, they might go back to the last thing they did that was reinforcing. Now, here's the good news. Everyone's born with one of those four innate responses to frustration, but we can help change that response. It's nurture and nature. So for example, I was raised with 6 brothers, and I think I've got pretty good persistency because I was raised with 6 brothers. And I don't know if I came by it naturally, but I sure have it now. And I sure did get frustrated being raised with 6 brothers. So genetics plays a big role in if a dog is hyper or over-aroused or not. For example, my Border Collies would be far more naturally excitable than my Bulldog cross. However, guess what? My bulldog cross is actually more over-aroused than my border collies in some situations. And I will get to that because this might be your dog. Okay, number 2 reason is diet. So depending on what you're feeding dogs, there's a lot of pre-made dog food that's got a lot of carbohydrates in, which turns into sugars, which gives your dogs this hyper energy. Dyes, there's a lot of food with dyes in it or chemicals that creates a response in the dog that they just can't control themselves. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes if you're watching this on YouTube in the description where you can download some of my favorite recipes that you can cook for yourself so you know what's going in that. Okay, number 3. So example, like dogs go through an adolescent period where their hormones are raging and they are a little bit more trigger happy. But along with age comes experience. So as a dog sees, for example, a car drive in your driveway the first time, they might go, well, whoa! Like, I don't know what that is. But after every day they see a car drive in the driveway, experience is like, yeah, there's no need to get overexcited about that because I see a car in the driveway every day. All right, so experiences will change your dog's response. All right, early training. This is another biggie. And this, I believe, is one of Tater Salad's problems. So Tater Salad spent a lot of time as a youngster at daycare where he got to play with all the dogs all the time and going to dog parks where the leash was released and he got to play with all the dogs all the time. That creates a dog that is actually over-socialized. And so you're walking down the street with a dog, and a dog like Tater, like he's a bit of a meatball head, right? So when we got him, his way of greeting dogs was to bowl them over. And so it was fun for him. I mean, he wasn't a bully in that there's not a mean bone in that dog's body, but he was just an over-exuberant greeter because he was over-socialized. I see dogs, I have to run up and play with them. So if you walk him down the street, every dog he sees, he feels the need, oh, it's my long-lost friend. I know it is. It's not so much anymore, but that's how he came to us. So early training can create a dog that has triggers that will send him over the top or make him overexcited or over-aroused. Likewise, a lot of sport trainers feel that they need to make puppies crazy in order for them to be fast. And so they'll take puppies from 8 weeks old and they just get them ripping and doing everything just fast, fast, fast. I don't happen to believe that. I believe that we need to teach drive to our sport dogs, but I think I believe in the mantra that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so we need our dogs to be able to use their bodies correctly. And when we're just focusing on fast is when our dogs, as they get older, to be 2, 3, 4-year-olds, they actually can potentially have some pretty life-altering injuries because they were never taught to use their body correctly. So the early training can play a big role in that. And also, second cousin to that, and this is point number 5, is the amount of frustration and punishment that is involved in that training. Because, as I mentioned, when dogs get frustrated, some dogs will just suppress and they'll give up and they'll look so sad and they might scratch their ear and we feel bad for them. It hurts us in our heart. And so we're going to go about things a different way. But some dogs might get invigorated by failure. It doesn't mean they like it. Think of a people pleaser. Think of dogs that have an invigorating response to frustration. They're not loving it. They're just a people pleaser. Their response to frustration is to get invigorated. What looks like they're just having a great old time, but that's just their response. It's not an expression of joy. It's their response to frustration. So a big part of the problem with training is the expectations people have and then the capabilities that the dogs do or do not have. Our dogs can only do the best they can with the education we've given them in the environment that we've put them in. So a lot of times these dogs are over-aroused because they're in an environment that they're not prepared for. They don't have the education to deal with that.